Hey everyone, I'm Kaneisha Grayson, founder and CEO of The Art of Applying, and I'm here today with one of our amazing members of the Art of Applying Academy, Maryam. Hi, Maryam.
Hi, Kaneisha. This is Maryam, everybody. How you doing?
So happy to be chatting with you today. Maryam, what are we celebrating today? Tell us about your results so far, the schools you've gotten into, any funding. Share your good news.
Rutgers University, Camden, and UMBC, University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
Fantastic. Okay, so we've got UMBC, University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and Rutgers University, Camden. And then what will you be studying at UMBC if you go there?
Language, literacy, and culture.
Awesome. And that's for a PhD.
Yes.
Awesome. And then at Rutgers.
Public administration and community affairs.
Fantastic. Congratulations. So you've got two awesome programs to pick from. Do you have funding details you can share?
The only funding that I know is that each one of these schools offered a fellowship. I don't know the particulars because it was too early to inquire, but now I think I can start asking about particulars of funding.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we are here to help you in asking for those particulars of funding and, of course, requesting more of it. Okay, so I'm sure that you watched lots of videos with other people who had gotten into their schools, and now it's your turn. And you are one of our very, very first members of the Art of Applying Academy. Tell us these stats that you are comfortable sharing about your applicant profile in terms of your cultural background, what college you went to, what you studied, GPA, test scores, the whole rundown of just who is Maryam? If she can do it, can I do it too?
Ooh, if I can do it, you definitely can do it. First of all, I was a transfer queen and I started off at Rutgers University, New Brunswick, and I ended at Rutgers University, New Brunswick. In between there, I had no guidance and I transferred to quite a mini school. And I do mean quite a many. You can count them on your hands. That's how many. And it took me 8 years. At this school, usually people take 5 years to finish their bachelor's. It took me 8. I had some gaps. I had some issues and some challenges. And I also had tenacity. And I also had the willpower to finish. I was dealing with a sick parent and some other things. I was coming back from overseas, just so many other things to finish, but I finished. My GPA was somewhere around a 3.0, and I'm saying somewhere because I know on my transcript before I got help for my specific concerns that it did impact my undergraduate transcript as well as my graduate transcript. However, I did go to graduate school and I went to graduate school at Harvard. I graduated with a master's in theological studies and I also applied for doctoral programs before. I did get into one. I started one and I felt like the situation was such that I needed to pivot or think about pivoting to another school that was more supportive, both financially as well as for my academic success and my career trajectory.
Well said. So you've really had a journey, Maryam, and thank you so much for sharing that. I did not know that it took you 8 years to graduate from your 5-year college program, that you transferred a lot. That's really a journey. I'm so sorry about your sick parent. I lost my mom a few years ago, so I do know the pain and the grief. It just sounds like you've really persisted and been very resilient through a lot of challenges. And if you feel comfortable sharing your test scores, I do think people would like to know, how many times did you take the test? What test did you take? What'd you get?
I actually feel super comfortable. So I have a very funny story about how I even ended up in college. I had a friend that took all AP classes in high school. She was younger than me, and I was the designated driver. And I would drive her everywhere, including to her SAT prep scores. But for me, I didn't know what that was. Rutgers University is a very large school, and they have many colleges. So I attended a college that did not require that, but they require some other things.
It may have been that your ranking in high school was so high that you were an automatic admit. What about for your grad school applications for the PhD programs that you just got into? Did you need to submit GRE scores?
I did not.
Okay.
And why? Why? Because most of the programs I applied to did not require GRE. However, there's one that did, and it was one of them that I got into.
Oh.
I went back and forth because I did do GRE prep, which was nice and confusing. And the concern with me is I had an undiagnosed learning disability. And for me, those types of tests are a horror show. And I normally don't do well. I would need so much practice, like a year of practice. And then after so long, there seems to be like a rate of attrition. So I pleaded with the director of the program and said, look, I had another recent death of a parent. Yes, I know. Thank you. It's been a challenge with that. And that's affecting me. And two, I have a learning disability. And previously you told me I didn't need these graduate school scores. And now I'm being told that it's a strong, we want it, we prefer.
Oh, is that what was happening with one of your programs? They first said it wasn't required, and then they were like, we strongly recommend submitting.
Yes, and then they said it was absolutely required.
Okay.
So here's the thing. You need to know which one it is. And I did find it in writing that it wasn't required. It was preferred.
Okay.
So I spoke with the director and I said, look, this is what's going on. And he just said, yes. I had people who were telling me, don't ask. I ignored them.
Yes. And I'm proud of you for having the courage to ask and to advocate for yourself. Excellent. All right. So we know some of your stats. We know that it hasn't been an easy journey. It's not just I'm a shoo-in. I know this is going to work out for me. It's really been some ups and some downs. And so I would love to hear about your PhD application process this time, your transfer process. What was that like before you joined the Art of Applying Academy? What was difficult? What wasn't working?
What was difficult was the things that I didn't know about. How do you get an application fee waived? Who do you ask? Where do you look for the information on websites? How do you get an application fee waived? That it just doesn't hurt to ask and have someone say no. And even if they say no, you can ask again, or you can ask someone else. I didn't understand what was the difference between a personal statement and statement of purpose. And in some schools, for some applications, it really was the same thing. But there was a prompt, and then I had like a core document I was working off of. And one thing I learned was that I had to tell my narrative. And I always started with something that was interesting about me. It's what I would call a hook, so that someone's going to keep reading my application, because they don't always read your application.
I do believe they always read the application, Maryam, but I'm sure they take more interest in some applications than others. It sounds like before you joined the Art of Applying Academy, you had a lot of questions about the application process, and you knew you're very good at asking, because I can tell you're very good at advocating for yourself, but it's like, what should I even be asking for? What should I even be advocating for? And then also, what's a personal statement versus a statement of purpose? When are they the same thing? When are they different? And so how did you find the Art of Applying, and what inspired you to join the membership?
So I found the Art of Applying through a support group called Cohort Sistas, and they truly are my sisters.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes. And I feel like they're my sisters in academia, and sisters that I didn't know that I needed, who told me I had these issues and this is how I navigated these particular issues. Or if such and such should come up, this is how you do that. I have been involved with different application companies or programs. However, I would sort of get all the way to the very end, and then they'd be like, you don't need us. But I kind of do, though. I'm not beyond taking assistance or help. And I always know that someone knows more than you or can help you increase what you already have.
Okay. So you found about the art of applying when I came to speak to the Cohort Sistas. Wonderful. And I really appreciated being invited to speak. And you were like, hey, I've been in other programs. They always tell me, oh, you're good. You don't need this. That is a common issue that I have faced as well. I would say that we're both what's considered twice exceptional, right? So we both academically and intellectually gifted, but also dealing with disabilities. So for myself, that's ADHD. And you've alluded to learning disabilities. It's a real struggle when you need assistance and you need help and you need support, but you have people being like, but you're smart, and you're like, well, it's not mutually exclusive to be smart and to also struggle and to need extra support. I'm so glad that you did find us and so glad you joined the Art of Applying Academy. In the Art of Applying Academy, we have the application roadmap, which is the short recorded lessons taught by me. We've got a forum. We have group coaching calls. You get 2 resources dripped out every month. And then sometimes we have little pop-up surprise extras like the WhatsApp group that we had for a few days before the deadline. Tell me, what was your favorite part about the Art of Applying Academy?
WhatsApp group.
For sure. Okay.
Wish we would have had it earlier.
Mhm.
However, it was fast and furious, and I was in fast and furious mode. And when you're doing these applications, there just is no sleep. And I did thrive off of others asking questions that were not my questions, but maybe it was an answer for me, or maybe it helped me in a part of my application in which there was a tiny hole. So I felt like that was key because it was instant, it was now. And when you have 24 hours or 48 hours or 36 hours to finish, that WhatsApp really helped.
Maybe 4 to 6 days before the major deadlines, I was like, you know what? I spend a lot of time on WhatsApp chatting and sending voice memos with my friends. I wonder if it might be helpful to the members of the Art of Applying Academy and for our application accelerator clients if just for a few days I was available on WhatsApp and we were just all together and people could ask their questions and I could respond to them via written message or via voice memo. So I guess I just explained the whole thing, but you could just tell them a little bit more about what it was like for you and how the WhatsApp group really helped you during the time before the deadline.
For my particular learning disability, I'm extremely articulate, and then some people don't believe how there's a cognitive disconnect on pieces of paper. So if you left a voice chat, I could process them. I could also read. You can send those at all hours of the night and it's not going to be intrusive. And I appreciated some people are different time zones and that I felt like I had access, whereas I have to find or look through the videos and now I have to watch the video. And this is something that I can't speed it up on 3 or 4 times because I have to really pay attention.
Okay, so the other resources, you're like, I'm glad these are here, but in these days leading up to the deadline, I love the instant access and the quick answers to my questions in an easily digestible way. Did you end up watching any of the application roadmap videos or going to the group coaching calls?
It was all a blur because I did not sleep, but I can really tell, like, if you have time, that it's a really great idea to do that because what you're doing is individual and particular to you and also can be helpful to others. And there are some nuances that we need to have extrapolated from us that we need to tell in our story on paper in that application. So that's where the one-on-one coaching would be totally invaluable. Then, bouncing off of other people's applications, or this is more generic, everybody needs to put XYZ, that's a whole nother thing.
Okay, got it. So yeah, you see the value in both the group coaching calls that are included in the membership, but then even also why someone would maybe want to buy a one-on-one coaching call after joining the membership. Okay, I got it. And what would you say to someone, Maryam, who thinks that they need to get a strong test score before they join the Art of Applying Academy?
Missed opportunity. So I would say you're not on the admissions committee, so don't make the decision for them. Try everything. What do you have to lose? If someone is talking you out of your dream school, that you should not listen to them and you should submit to your heart at this moment. Again, you are not on the admissions committee. Let them make the decision and you've got to do your part.
I love that. So you're saying don't already count yourself out because you think you don't have a strong test score. And what about the people who are like, oh no, I'm not counting myself out. I just want to focus first for like 3 to 6 months. And surely if I focus for 3 to 6 months, I'll get a great GRE score or GMAT score. And then after I have accomplished this, then I will think about the essays and the other parts of the application.
I would say no. Again, missed opportunity. What if you actually focus on the essays and the essays you are in control of? Are you in control of the scores and how someone receives them? No, you are not. And so I feel like it's a missed opportunity. You are in control of what you're in control of. You have to shoot your shot and then trust.
I love that. And I know people want to apply with strong test scores. The problem is something that I see all the time is people spend way too many months exclusively focusing on test prep, and then they give themselves very little time to write outstanding essays, to submit a really stellar resume. They don't really know their story. They just know, yay, look at my test score. I have this score. If they're even able to achieve the score that they think they need. A lot of times people who struggle with scoring well on tests, they hyper-focus on doing well on the test, and then they don't even do well on the test.
And that's why it becomes a missed opportunity. And I just don't want anyone to have any regrets. I have a cousin who I helped with PhD applications, and she kind of didn't follow all of my suggestions. However, I just told her, we don't want you to be mad at us because you did not apply. When you don't do the action that can get you into your dream school, then nothing can occur. You have to do the action. And what's the worst that can happen? Sorry, we're not admitting you this year. So you try again.
I love that. I love your persistence. I love it. Maryam, what did you learn about yourself and how did you grow as a result of being in the Art of Applying Academy and going through your PhD application and transfer process and being successful in the process? What did you learn about yourself?
I don't deal with negativity well, and I have certain aspirations and goals, and I want to be with like-minded people who will support me in that endeavor. And I do feel that your service is so helpful and in a caring way. I don't feel like a number. I know what a number feels like. And I appreciate that from you. And you have had what I call spin-off workshops, videos with some other people who are in affiliated industry. And I've looked at their workshop or attended a workshop with them as well. And so I feel like it keeps giving, and that when you get into a program of your choice, that's your obligation and duty to help other people who are struggling on this academic path. Because for so many of us, the academic path career was not established for people who looked like myself or yourself. And so that's why I'm saying you're obligated and it's your duty to help others.
Well, I definitely believe in paying it forward for sure. And it means so much to me when clients and members such as yourself record these videos, because there's no better testimonial than an actual person, right? That they can see, hear your voice, hear what you have to say. They can tell that you're not reading some script that I made you say, and they can really see that you're a real person. And not everybody says yes, and that's okay. But for those of you who do agree to share your story, it means a lot to me and to the people out there who are watching these videos at 2 a.m, wondering if they could really get in, if they get the right help.
You have to have confidence in yourself. And I feel like also your service helps people have confidence as well. But you just need to believe in yourself.
Yes. And one of the things that comes with believing in yourself is believing that you can trust yourself to invest in yourself. And for years, our only offer has been Application Accelerator, which is awesome. It's our signature program, but it's not always within the means of everybody. And so now we have the Art of Applying Academy month to month, what I believe should be affordable for anyone who's expecting to go to a top graduate school. And so, yeah, for those of you who are feeling maybe lost or isolated or feeling like you're lacking in confidence, believe in yourself enough to invest in yourself and get the help you need so that you can have outstanding results like Maryam. And so, Maryam, what's next for you in your application process?
So what's next is consulting with you more about this whole financial assistance.
Yeah.
What does a fellowship mean? Trying to figure out what would be the best support system and learning from past mistakes. And what are other offers that other people have? Because sometimes when you don't know, you're like, oh, this school says helping is taking out loans. Well, this school is going to give you a stipend and pay you to be a student.
That's really fascinating, Maryam. I've always believed in the power of group coaching to learn from other people's questions, but you're bringing up the very important aspect of also learning about other people's offers, what is possible.
Yes.
I believe very much in pay transparency and people discussing how much they're paid at their workplace so that we're not having people systematically underpaid due to bias and systemic oppression. And even in the application process, you can bring that level of community and transparency by seeing what other people are receiving from similar type programs and similar schools. That is an excellent point. Really, I don't think ever really thought about in that way. So you've just kind of blown my mind. I've been in business for 14 years. Maryam, now that you have been accepted into not one, but two PhD programs to study super cool stuff, what changes, improvements, or opportunities will this bring for your life and career?
So I finally feel like I'm going to be settled and I have a vision board and it is a spiritually faith-based vision board. And I'm just looking at certain things coming to fruition and how can I hit my milestones and again, pay it forward to other people. I have to be thankful for what I have and what I've been blessed with, and even just the knowledge. G.I. Joe says knowing is half the battle, and I know forewarned is forearmed, and being equipped with the knowledge is very mighty and powerful.
Beautiful. Being equipped with the knowledge is very mighty and powerful. Well, Maryam, I would like to leave space for you to share anything else you would like to share to the person who is listening to this or watching this and just saying, wow, even though she lost what it sounds like to me, both of your parents.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, both of your parents and had an undiagnosed, but I think now diagnosed learning disability, took 8 years to graduate from college, but somehow went to Harvard Graduate School of Divinity. What? And then started a PhD program and then decided to transfer. Like, that's really a journey. And despite the fact that you'd already have a Harvard degree, being both confident, courageous, and humble enough to join the Art of Applying Academy to get help, the person who is listening to this, watching this, what do you want to say to them? What encouragement do you want to give them?
You don't know what you don't know, and there are many things to know. I'm so happy that Kaneisha used the word investment. I've had to do some breakdown of words, some parsing of words for people, and then also say the connotation of the word cheap or this is expensive versus this is an investment, and versus what's the cost factor analysis of something that I want. It's a dream. And when we want things with our heart of hearts, then you do what you have to do. That's when we convert the word from, wow, that's a lot of money. It's so expensive. It's not cheap to investment, investing in yourself. And there is a possibility for you to access the resources because there is a monthly plan and there are other people who may be in your boat in which you can feed off of and gain knowledge and obtain your aspirational goal.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much, Maryam, for sharing your story, for bringing your wonderful, sparkly presence and personality to the Art of Applying Academy and just our overall community, for sharing your story, for being so encouraging and so candid. I so appreciate it, and I look forward to continuing to support you in your PhD application journey. Thanks for watching. Are you ready to take your application process to the next level? The Art of Applying helps you get into the graduate school of your dreams and get money to pay for it. Book a free quick call from the link in the description to get started. And subscribe to our channel for more application tips and success stories.